This is about your daughter. She just got busted with. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is your family. This is not a small matter. It is not a passing warning. It is not a whisper that can be put aside and forgotten. This is your blood, your very life, your household, your future, your tears, your heart, your destiny. Archangel Michael has bent low, wings trembling with a force that even the heavens take seriously, and his voice roars with the command of God himself. He says, "This is very serious. Don't ignore this. This is not for tomorrow. This is not for later. This is not for when you feel ready. I order you to open your heart, to open your eyes, to open your spirit right now. Because what is being revealed carries weight that can shake everything you thought you knew. This is about your daughter. And God says, she just got busted with something that was hidden, something that was disguised, something that was wrapped in shadows, but now the light of heaven has burned it open. The angels are crying, not because heaven is weak, but because heaven feels the weight of your love, the ache of a parent, the trembling bond between you and your daughter. You thought she was safe. You thought she was untouched. You thought she was beyond the snares that roam in silence. But Archangel Michael says there was a plot circling her. A hand that wanted to destroy her name, her innocence, her place. They wanted her caught. They wanted her chained. They wanted her blamed. And the truth is she just got busted with what does not belong to her. What she should never have carried, what she was never meant to hold. Heaven saw the moment it happened. The exchange, the setup, the hands that planted what they intended to ruin her life with. Heaven saw it all. And now heaven exposes it all. God says, don't collapse in fear, don't let your soul faint. Because though the revelation is heavy, the rescue is already moving. Michael has unsheathed his sword. And though your daughter looks surrounded, though it looks like shame is on her name, God has written her name in his book, and he will not let it be destroyed. The enemies laughed. They thought this was their final blow. But God says he will overturn it. He will scatter those who mocked, and he will lift your daughter in a way that her testimony will not be of destruction but of salvation. But you must listen. This is not the time to treat lightly what is divine. This is not the time to close your ears. God says, if you walk away from this word, you will cry so bitterly later because you will realize heaven was begging you to stay awake. You are not just a parent. You are her shield. You are the one God gave the authority to cover her in prayer, to speak her name in the courts of heaven, to call angels into her life. Archangel Michael says he has been standing by her side. But your voice, your agreement, your surrender to God in this moment is the final key that will break the chains they are trying to put on her. She just got busted. Yes. But what she got busted with was not born from her. It was planted around her. It was orchestrated. It was fabricated. God says the enemy is a liar. And though the earthly eyes may see evidence, the heavenly eyes see truth. And the truth is your daughter is marked for greatness. And that is why the enemy is furious. He doesn't attack those who are meaningless. He attacks those who carry divine fire. Your daughter is chosen. She has something inside her that threatens darkness. And that is why they tried to snare her with this trap. But what was meant for her downfall will become her rising. God says to you directly, do not despair, but do not sit idle. Cry out because your cry carries more authority than you realize. Stand because your stand is the very thing that blocks the enemy's access. Pray because when you open your mouth in prayer, angels are released like fire across the field of battle. Michael says, I order you take this seriously. If you look away, if you shrug it off, if you treat it as if it can wait, then you leave her exposed to the accusations of those who hate her. But if you rise in this hour, if you call on the name of the Lord, then no accusation will stand. God says He is exposing those behind this. A woman who smiled at you, who acted like she was close, who pretended to care, had a hand in pushing your daughter into this corner. A man who envied her, who could not stand to see her shining, added fuel to the fire. God is peeling back the curtain, showing you faces, revealing names. Nothing hidden will stay hidden. Your daughter is not alone. Heaven has not abandoned her. God says her tears are collected in His bottle. Her fear is written before Him, and He will not let this pass unanswered. The hour is late, but not too late. You are reading this because God orchestrated it. He didn't want you blind, He didn't want you surprised. He wanted you prepared, armed, awake. He wanted you to know that though it looks serious, though it looks shameful, though it looks like loss, He is still the God who turns graves into gardens, shame into glory, prisons into testimonies. What they say she was busted with will be exposed for the lie it is. What they tried to frame her with will become the very weapon that convicts them. And you, child of God, you are chosen to carry this burden into prayer, into war, into trust. Don't let the devil whisper that it's over. Don't let your own mind tell you it's hopeless. God says, if you could see what He is already doing, you would be on your knees in gratitude. Not fear. Michael is already moving pieces. Angels are already silencing witnesses who intended evil. Truth is already breaking out. But you must believe this is about your daughter. Don't ignore it. Don't scroll away. Don't postpone. Heaven is shouting. Michael is weeping and commanding. This is serious. If you trust God now, you will see in days ahead how He overturned the plot. You will hear news that shocks you. But instead of ending in sorrow, it will end in wonder. You will realize that this very moment, this message was the turning point, the place where God drew the line and said, "Enough." God says, "Your daughter will not be destroyed. She will rise." But right now, you must act in faith. Pray her name. Cover her path. Rebuke the lies. Declare her free. And watch as heaven does what only heaven can do. God says, "This is your family." And Archangel Michael is speaking to you with great urgency, with trembling in his voice, because this is about your daughter. Michael says, this is very serious, and he begs you not to ignore it. He does not speak lightly. He does not cry loudly unless the matter touches the deepest part of heaven. But now the angels are shaking because of what has just been revealed. God says this is about your daughter. She just got busted with something that no one expected. Something that the enemy thought would remain hidden. But heaven has chosen this moment to expose it before your eyes. Archangel Michael orders you to open your heart and listen. For this is not a message of judgment, but a message of protection, of warning, of love that burns like fire. Because God cannot let you walk blindly when the destiny of your child is in question. This is not ordinary. This is not casual. This is life and death for her. And the heavens have pressed this into your soul because you are chosen to stand between the danger and her fragile life. Michael says, do not delay. Do not look away. For every second matters. The truth is burning through the silence, and your daughter has been caught in something that could shatter her life if not stopped now. She has been busted with secrets. Busted with choices that were never meant for her. Busted with the hands of wrong people pulling her into darkness. Busted with the weight of shame she cannot carry alone. God says the enemy whispered into her ears and tried to convince her that no one would ever know. But heaven knew. God says he saw it all. And in his mercy, he has chosen not to punish but to expose so you can rescue, because you are her covering. You are the one chosen to step into the storm and stand as a wall of prayer and love before her. The angels are weeping because she does not even realize the danger she is in. Archangel Michael saw her last night surrounded by influences that did not belong to her destiny. She has been caught with something that does not represent her true identity, and the enemy is celebrating as though he has won. But God says the devil will not win. God says your prayers are stronger than her mistakes. Your love is stronger than her weakness. And his mercy is stronger than the trap that has been laid. Michael says, do not ignore this. For if you turn away, the enemy will tighten the chains. But if you rise now, if you cry out now, heaven will rush to your side and your daughter will be saved before the story turns against her. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. God says, this message is not about shame, but about exposure for salvation. Your daughter has been busted with words she never should have spoken. Busted with friends who never should have been trusted. Busted with actions that weigh heavily on her spirit. But this is not the end of her. This is the moment heaven cries out to you because her story is still being written and you hold the key of intercession that can break her free. Michael says he has been standing by her side. Even when she thought she was alone, even when her heart was confused and her steps uncertain, he has been fighting demons around her bed. Demons that whispered lies, demons that tried to destroy her mind, demons that offered her what looked like comfort but was actually poison. She has been busted with these influences. But God says exposure is mercy. If she had not been caught now, the path would have taken her too far. But because heaven loves her, because God loves you, the truth has been forced into the open. God says you must not let this message slip past your eyes. Because if you delay, she may fall deeper into the trap. Michael says, I order you as a servant of the Lord to listen, to pray, to act. This is not a casual suggestion. This is a heavenly command for the sake of her soul. Michael says, your daughter's name is written in the book of life, but the enemy is trying to stain the pages with false accusations. The devil rejoiced when she was busted, but God says he allowed it because being caught now will save her from destruction later. If she hides, if she runs, if she buries the truth, the chains will grow heavier. But if you pray, if you stand, if you reach out, the chains will break. The Spirit of God says your daughter is precious, chosen, and anointed, but the enemy targets what is precious. The brighter the destiny, the stronger the attack. That is why she has been busted with things that do not belong to her life. But you are not powerless. God says your authority as a parent, as a believer, as one who loves her is greater than the voice of shame. Heaven stands ready, waiting for your prayer, waiting for your cry, waiting for you to declare, not my daughter. Not her destiny, not her future. When you open your mouth in prayer, Archangel Michael will strike his sword, cutting away the chains that bind her. When you weep before God, those tears become weapons of fire, burning away the lies spoken over her. Michael says she may be afraid to tell you everything. She may be hiding what she was busted with, fearing your disappointment. But God says love will break the silence. Your compassion will unlock her honesty. Do not come with condemnation. Come with the embrace of heaven. For what she needs is not fear but mercy, not judgment but truth spoken in love. Michael says if you reach her with God's love, she will confess and confession will break the power of secrecy. The devil loses power when the secret is revealed. When the light shines into the dark corner. That is why heaven ordered me to bring this to you today. God says, do not ignore this, for this is your family. Your daughter is a treasure and the enemy wants to bury that treasure in the dirt of guilt and failure. But God says, I will not let her go, and I will not let you ignore the cry of heaven. She has been busted. Yes, but busted does not mean broken. Busted does not mean finished. Busted means caught before it was too late. God says, see this as my mercy, not my punishment. See this as my hand reaching down to save her before the water drowns her. Michael says the enemy thought this exposure would destroy her. But instead it is the tool God will use to build her testimony. She will rise stronger after this. She will look back one day and say that was the moment God saved me through the love and prayers of my family. But that future depends on this moment. Do not waste it. Do not be silent. Do not delay. Heaven is urgent because her soul is urgent. God says, this is your family, your blood, your daughter. She has been busted with something serious, but you have been chosen to lift her out. Michael is crying because he knows how close she was to being pulled deeper. But he also knows how powerful your prayer can be. The sword of Michael is ready. The armies of heaven are waiting, but they respond to faith. They respond to your cry. God says, will you cry for her tonight? Will you cover her before the throne? Will you fight for her destiny as I have fought for yours? She is young, she is fragile, she is human, but she is loved beyond measure. The enemy wanted her mistake to define her. But God says her mistake will be the very thing that reveals my mercy. She will not be known by her failure, but by her restoration. She will not be defined by what she was busted with, but by how heaven lifted her out. Michael says, this is serious. Do not ignore it. I order you to rise. I order you to pray. I order you to listen because this is about your daughter. God says listen. This is not a casual word. This is not something to glance over and walk away from. This is an urgent message only for you. And heaven is speaking with intensity because you cannot ignore this moment. Archangel Michael stands close and he says with deep seriousness that this is about your family. This is about your daughter. He says do not ignore, do not delay, do not turn away from this word. Michael is not here to frighten you, but to alert you, to keep you safe, to ensure you do not miss what is unfolding. This is very serious and heaven is ringing the alarm. You may have felt an unease recently, a sense that something was hidden, something was happening beyond your sight. That was not your imagination. That was the Spirit warning you. The truth is now surfacing. The truth that was concealed is being revealed because God will not let you walk in blindness. He loves you too much. He loves your daughter too much. He loves your family too much to let you remain in the dark. And this message is not to shame. It is not to condemn. It is not to break you. It is to open your eyes, to strengthen you, to remind you that even now, even when things seem chaotic, you are safe under God's protection. Archangel Michael declares, "Your daughter just got busted." And while the world may frame it as failure, heaven frames it as intervention. Sometimes God allows what looks like exposure in order to prevent deeper destruction. Sometimes He lets truth surface so that lies can no longer choke the destiny of someone you love. Do not see this as the end of her story, see it as the turning point. This is where God's mercy becomes visible. This is where His protection becomes undeniable. What could have destroyed her will not, because God has stepped in. You have been praying silently, sometimes feeling like no one heard, sometimes crying when no one noticed, sometimes wondering if your prayers even reached beyond the ceiling. God says He heard every single one. He saw the tears you didn't show. He heard the whispers you prayed over your daughter when she slept. He knows the burden you've carried as a parent. And now He is acting. This busted moment is not punishment. It is redirection. It is heaven saying, "Stop now before it's too late." It is God placing a wall before destruction and saying, "My child will not pass beyond this point." Do not let fear grip you. Fear is not your portion. God is reminding you, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Your family is safe. Your daughter is safe. This is not the end. This is the intervention of heaven. What the enemy meant for evil will turn for good. What looked like humiliation will become testimony. What looked like shame will become strength. This is the love of God in motion. He does not let His children slip away without fighting for them. He fights for you. He fights for your daughter. He fights for your household. Archangel Michael says you must trust. Trust even when you don't understand. Trust even when the situation looks messy. Trust even when your heart aches. This is very serious. Yes. But seriousness is not hopelessness. Seriousness means pay attention. Do not ignore. Lift your eyes to heaven. Pray with boldness. Stand in faith and know that God has already prepared the outcome. Your daughter is not lost. Your family is not lost. You are not abandoned. God says this will open a door for healing. It will create conversations that were avoided. It will expose influences that were hidden. It will reveal friendships that were dangerous. It will strip away illusions and leave only truth. And though truth can sting, it always heals. Your daughter's heart is not beyond God's reach. Her mistakes do not erase her calling. Her choices do not erase her worth. God is wrapping her in mercy right now. Even as this message flows, the angels are around her protecting her from permanent damage. You must remember, God does not shame. God restores. He is the Father who runs to embrace the prodigal. He is the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one. He is the light that breaks through the darkest night. Even now he is guiding your daughter back into alignment. Even now he is protecting her destiny. Even now he is whispering into her spirit, calling her back, reminding her who she is. You may feel anger. You may feel disappointment. You may feel fear, but let love and faith rise higher. This is not a time to collapse in despair. This is a time to intercede with fire in your spirit. Stand in prayer. Call on God with authority. Speak life over your daughter, not death. Speak promise, not failure. Declare her future, not her mistake. Heaven responds to the prayers of parents who cry out in faith. Archangel Michael says, "This is very serious, but it is not hopeless." He stands guard even now. He is breaking chains of influence that tried to hold her. He is removing shadows that tried to cover her. He is clearing the path ahead so that she will not be destroyed. You are not powerless. Your prayers are weapons. Your love is strength. Your faith is a shield. Rise and declare that your family belongs to God. God is saying directly to you, do not fear. Do not panic. Do not lose hope. I have her. I have you. I have your family. What seems like chaos is under my control. What seems like disaster is under my direction. I am weaving this into a testimony that will one day strengthen others. You are not failing as a parent. You are standing exactly where I placed you. I chose you for her. I trusted you to carry her. And I will not let your prayers be wasted. Even now, angels surround your home. Even now, Michael draws his sword against every dark power. Even now, heaven leans close to strengthen you. Take a deep breath and release your fear. Lay it down. You are safe. Your dog. Because there is a plan, one that is cruel, one that aims to shatter your peace, your health, your security, and even your future. You have enemies, yes, but they are hidden, masked, pretending to be friends, pretending to be allies, pretending to care. Michael says, pay attention to the whispers in the air, to the subtle shifts in energy around you. Not everyone who smiles at you is your protector. Some are planting traps. Some are sending darkness to touch your life. Do you remember times when you felt a sudden chill? When things seemed slightly off, but you could not explain why? Michael says those were warnings, glimpses of the darkness that is now attempting to converge upon you. Do not ignore this message. God says, I will not allow evil to triumph over you, but your cooperation is required. You must listen. You must be vigilant. You must take steps that seem unusual yet are divinely inspired. Michael is here now, standing beside you with sword drawn, light blazing. But even the sword of heaven cannot act fully unless you open your heart to this truth. Beloved, open your eyes. Someone near you is plotting. Michael says this is not a vague threat. It is calculated. It is precise, and it is aimed to hurt you in the most personal way possible. They have studied your habits, your movements, your routines. They believe they know you. But God says only I truly know you. Only I hold the keys to your protection, and only by trusting me. Only by surrendering fully to this divine message will you navigate the danger that approaches. Do not wait. Michael says, act immediately. This is not a moment for doubt, for hesitation, for thinking it will pass. The enemy of your soul works quietly like a shadow in the night, waiting for a moment when vigilance is low. But you are not defenseless. God's light surrounds you. Michael's presence shields you. And every angel of heaven stands ready to intervene. But you must acknowledge the threat. You must take the warning seriously. Listen closely to what God wants you to do. Remove all distractions. Stop for a moment. Pray with your entire heart and call upon me. Say, God, I trust you. Protect me. Reveal the truth to me now. Expose all hidden plans against me. Michael says, the prayers of a vigilant soul pierce through the darkness more powerfully than swords, more powerfully than walls. Your voice, your devotion, your focus are your weapons. Beloved, the person planning harm against you may be someone you know, someone you trust, someone whose face you recognize. Michael says this is the cruelest part. They wear masks of innocence, but God sees through all masks. God knows the intentions. God knows the heart. And because you are beloved, I am reaching out to warn you before harm manifests. This is divine intervention, a gift of foresight, a chance to protect yourself before darkness falls. You may feel fear, and that is natural. But do not let fear paralyze you. Michael says, courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the face of it. You are strong. You are chosen, and you have divine support beyond what the human eye can perceive. Every step you take now to protect yourself, every precaution, every prayer, every moment of vigilance adds to a shield around your life. God says, pay attention to subtle signs. Watch the patterns of people around you. Listen to intuition. Those quiet nudges you have felt lately, the sense that something is off, that someone is not truthful. They are angels speaking through your heart. Michael says, do not ignore these nudges. They are whispers of warning from heaven itself. You may ask, God, why now, why me? Beloved, the enemy has always sought to harm, but this moment is critical. This is a time when the plans against you could take form if not intercepted. That is why I am speaking so urgently. Why Michael is shouting so loudly? You have been given a unique opportunity to protect yourself, to fortify your life, to step into divine safety. Michael says, start by cleansing your surroundings. Remove any items that may carry hidden energy or negativity. Surround yourself with light. Speak aloud prayers of protection. Declare that no harm, no darkness, no ill-intentioned plans can touch you, for you are under the full protection of God and His angels. God says if you follow these instructions, the plans against you will fail. They will stumble, they will be exposed, and they will never succeed. But delay is dangerous. Michael says, do not delay. Every second counts. Every moment of an attention could allow the enemy to advance. Beloved, you may feel alone in this, but you are not. Michael is here. Gabriel is here. All angels are here. And I, God, am with you. Feel my presence around you, wrapping you in divine light, filling you with courage, filling you with clarity. You are safe in my arms, but you must act. Take steps now to protect yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Michael says, alert your close circle, watch for unusual behavior, and trust your intuition over appearances. Do not assume that everyone has your best interest at heart. Some are being guided by greed, jealousy, or darkness, but God says you are protected. Beloved, I want you to write down everything that feels off, everything that seems suspicious, every detail that could matter. Michael says, the act of documenting and paying attention to small signs helps illuminate the hidden plots. Heaven will guide you through the right interpretations. Do not underestimate the power of attention to detail. For in these hidden corners lie the traps that could harm you. God says, take time to pray deeply, not superficially, speak from your heart. Pour out your fear, your anxiety, and ask for divine insight. Ask Michael to show you the hidden threats, to guide your actions, to place angels in positions to guard you. Archangel Michael says, I am standing guard, but I cannot act fully unless you cooperate. Open your heart, open your awareness, open your focus. Beloved, remember those who seek your harm are not beyond redemption. But right now their intent is against you. Michael says, pray for them as well, not to allow them to succeed, but to allow their hearts to be softened, to redirect their energy. God's power works through protection, through prayer, through light, and through the strength of a vigilant soul. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. God says, tonight, when you rest, do not sleep lightly. Keep a lamp burning. Keep prayers flowing. Keep the light of awareness shining in your soul. Darkness flees from light, and your light is powerful. Michael says, I will hover around your home, your path, your mind, your spirit. I will not leave, but I need you to stay aware. To stay alert, to stay prayerful. Beloved, do not question this message. Do not think it is coincidence, imagination, or exaggeration. Michael says this is urgent. This is divine. This is real. Someone is planning harm and heaven is giving you the opportunity to prevent it before it occurs. Take this message as your shield, your map, your guidance. God says, trust me fully, obey the signs, follow the intuition, pray without ceasing, and act with courage. The enemy cannot prevail where my light shines. Michael says, be diligent in protection, for the enemy will test, will probe, and will attempt deception. But heaven is stronger and you are beloved. You are under divine protection and no force. No person, no plan can overcome this if you act wisely and swiftly. Beloved, this message is not a warning of despair. It is a message of empowerment. You are being given insight, clarity, and guidance at a critical moment. Your life, your peace, your safety, and your future are in focus. Michael says, do not ignore this. Do not procrastinate. Take immediate action to protect yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. God says, I am always with you. I am watching over every detail, every step, every moment. You are never alone. But you must partner with me: awareness, action, prayer, vigilance. These are your tools. Michael says, I will guide, I will protect. I will fight for you, but you must also stand in faith, courage, and alertness. Beloved, hear these final words. This is not a casual message. This is not a repetition. This is divine urgency. Someone is planning harm. The danger is near, precise, and real. But you are not helpless. You are protected. You are guided. You are watched over by God Himself and by Archangel Michael. Take this message seriously. Act immediately. Pray intensely and trust completely. Open your heart now, beloved, accept this warning. Feel the power of divine protection. Let your light shine so brightly that all darkness must flee. Michael says, I am with you. I am your shield, your guide, your warrior. God says, I am your protector, your father, your guide, your refuge. Take courage, act wisely, pray deeply, and trust completely. You are safe. You are loved. And nothing can overcome you if you stand in my light. Remember, beloved, this is urgent. Do not ignore it. Do not delay. This is a divine message of protection, guidance, and warning. Take action now and the plans of harm will fall apart. Michael says, I am ready. I am alert. I am fierce and I will not allow evil to touch you. But your attention and cooperation are essential. Beloved, feel my love, feel my power, feel my protection. You are chosen. You are guarded. You are protected. And you are safe. Trust this message. Act on this message and step fully into the divine shield surrounding you. God says, Beloved, this is not a message you should ever ignore. Archangel Michael is speaking directly to you right now. He is crying loudly because the danger that surrounds you is real, immediate, and planned with a darkness that even the heavens could barely contain until now. Open your heart, open your mind, and listen carefully, for every word carries a weight, a warning, and a divine instruction that you must follow without hesitation. You are being watched not by ordinary eyes, but by the eyes of those who seek to harm you, those who plan in silence, in the shadows, thinking you cannot see, thinking you cannot feel. But God says, Beloved, nothing escapes your soul and my angels. Archangel Michael says, This is very serious and this is why I contact you at this precise moment. The forces aligning against you are clever, but they are not greater than the power of God. However, you cannot afford delay. Every second you spend hesitating is another second for them to execute their plan. Someone is plotting to hurt you terribly. This is no exaggeration. This is not fear-mongering. It is a reality that has already begun to unfold. And Michael himself is standing guard at your door, raising his sword of protection, ready to block every evil that comes near you. But he cannot act fully unless you follow his guidance. Unless you open this message fully. Unless you embrace the instructions that the heavens are sending to you through this urgent revelation. Do not look around for ordinary solutions. Do not call anyone for advice yet. This is a matter beyond human comprehension, beyond human protection. This is spiritual warfare and it is directed specifically at you. Archangel Michael says, Beloved, right now, someone close to you, someone who smiles in your presence, someone who pretends love is hiding malice that is deep, sharp, and designed to wound not just your body, but your spirit. God says, do not take this lightly. Your enemies are not ordinary. They have invoked plans that are meant to silence your light, to block your blessing, to stop your destiny. But God says, Beloved, no plan formed against you shall prosper. Archangel Michael says, First, breathe and anchor your soul in the knowledge that you are protected. Feel the wings of the angels wrap around you. Feel the light of God shielding you from every corner of darkness. But also act now. Immediate action is required. You must secure your home, your possessions, your devices, your communications. Whoever is planning this attack has eyes everywhere. Do not leave any chance for them to reach you. Do not underestimate their cunning. God says stay vigilant, stay alert, and prepare because the moment of attack can come without warning. Beloved, God says your life is sacred and your path is not yet complete. There are blessings waiting for you that the world cannot even imagine. And these blessings are being prepared for you by the very hand of God. But this darkness, this evil wants to claim what is not theirs, to take your joy, to take your peace, to block the fulfillment that has been decreed for you before the foundation of the world. Archangel Michael says, I am crying because you cannot see fully yet. You cannot yet feel the weight of the danger that approaches. And yet, I assure you, the moment you acknowledge the warning, the moment you follow my guidance, you will see how swiftly and powerfully God will intervene on your behalf. Listen carefully, beloved. God says, do not go outside alone today. If you must step out, take with you a symbol of divine protection. Something that connects your soul to God directly. Speak prayers aloud. Ask Archangel Michael to stand in front of you, to stand behind you, to surround you with light that no evil can penetrate. There is an individual plotting to harm you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Their plan involves not just you, but possibly those you love. And their intent is to create chaos in your life, to frighten you, to weaken your resolve. But God says, fear not, for your faith is your shield, and your prayers are your sword. Archangel Michael says, tonight, lock all doors and windows. Even if you live in a place you consider safe, make your home a fortress of prayer. Light candles if it brings you peace. Recite scriptures or prayers that resonate deeply with your heart and call on my presence constantly. I will be there, beloved, but you must invite me fully. The danger is clever. It is subtle. It is silent. You may not see the first signs, but the heavens see. And we are intervening, God says, this is your moment to rise above fear, to embrace divine protection, and to act decisively. Beloved, someone in your circle has been hiding intentions from you. A person you trust might be involved or manipulated into the plot, but God says your discernment is heightened. Now, pay attention to what feels wrong. Listen to the whispers of your soul. If someone approaches with too much charm, with too many words, pause. This is a time for vigilance, not trust. Archangel Michael says, test the intentions of those around you with your heart and intuition. The danger may seem mundane, almost ordinary, but the consequences are extraordinary if ignored. God says, beloved, do not underestimate the power of prayer. Tonight, spend hours in prayer if you can. Ask for divine light to illuminate every shadow, to reveal every hidden plot, to expose the schemes that have been prepared against you. Archangel Michael says, as you pray, envision a circle of fire around yourself and those you love. A circle that no weapon, no malice, no darkness can penetrate. This is not mere imagination. It is spiritual armor that God has blessed you to wield in this critical hour. Beloved, there is an object, a tool, or an item being prepared to be used against you. God says, trust your instincts in detecting what this may be. Archangel Michael says, if anything feels off, remove it, discard it, or keep it away from you. Do not underestimate small things. Even tiny objects can carry great harm in the hands of those who practice dark intentions. God says, I am watching over you, and nothing hidden will remain unknown if you turn fully to me. You may feel overwhelmed, exhausted, or fearful. This is natural. But God says, in the moments when fear grips you, remember that Archangel Michael walks beside you and my angels surround you.